Hey folks, in this video, I'm going to be talking about challenges that many of you beginner traders are facing, and even not really even beginners. There's folks who have been trading for years that are still facing these challenges that haven't overcome them. And I'm really going to pinpoint it in this video and what you can do to get to that next level, okay? Because I've been there as well. Y'all see me now pulling in back-to-back six-figure months, making 20, 30K, 40K days. But you didn't see the come up to that, right? Which I always got to remind you that I didn't start here. I started with $10 gains, $20 gains. I blew up an account. When I first started, I was struggling too. I've been there 100%. This isn't the first time that I've shown this. I like to bring it up because it really puts into perspective. Look right here. You see that? What does that say? That's from 2020. Okay. And this used to be my average gain around this, like 100, 200 bucks back in 2020, early 2020. That was, it just shows you that I didn't just start here, right? You know, some folk, they forget that I was in your shoes too, 100%. I've had my stages in my trading journey where I could not for the life of me carve a profit. Right? I've had the stages where I started to find some success and then just slip up and revert back into the red again. And then I finally started to find some consistency, $20 gains, $30 gains, build up to $100 gains, $200 gains. Oh, and then fast forward to 2025, making 20K gains, 30K gains. Because many of you watching this are struggling right now and you feel like that struggle is never going to end. And I'm telling you, it's because like you're doing a few things, because there's common things that all traders, beginner traders do. And I'm going to tell you how you can get over that in this video. Okay. When I blew up my first trading account, it was due to revenge trading, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. Like, where does that stem from? The revenge trading, where does that stem from? Because I had my plan. I knew exactly how I should be executing. But then I would take a few losses and I would just unravel. And I would try to enforce my will in the marketplace. And that does not work. It never works. And it only leads to somewhere bad. Even if you make back your money, you're going to give it back later because you're developing bad habits. You see? So that revenge trading, of course, it stems from ego wanting to be right, but also from wanting results quick. And that right there, the wanting results quick is where it really stems from. Lack of patience. That's what it really stems from. And that's why a lot of you are messing up the way that you are, right? Because you want results right away. You don't like your job. You're trying to escape it. You want to go full time or whatever it is, whatever your goal is that you're trying to achieve through trading. You want it quickly. And then when you have a loss, when you take a loss or a series of losses, you see it as like, okay, that just set me back farther. Now I've got a lot farther that I got to go before I can reach that goal. And then now you're trying to recoup it, and then you just dig yourself in a deeper hole. And we've been there. And each and every single trade that you take, why you get so emotional, why psychology is so important here. Each and every single trade that you put on, it's not just the money that's on the line, folks. It isn't just the money that's on the line. It's in the back of your head, you have all those goals that you want to reach through trading, and you're putting that weight on each and every single trade. So when you're met with a loss, it's a threat. It's a threat to those goals that you have, right? So then it just makes you even more emotional. Then you spiral out of control, and then you go into like revenge trading, trying to recoup losses. It all ties together. This is easier said than done. I'm going to give you practical tips about how to go about solving this. But it's easier said than done, but it's so true. The fastest way that you're going to get to where you want to go is by taking it slow, by taking it by piece. All right? Because when you rush it, when you rush the process, when you try to speed up your results, it's going to have the opposite effect. You're going to set yourself back farther, and then you're going to stay in this loop, which many of you watching this video have probably been in this loop for years. I know there's folks out there that have been in this loop for years that just stay in this cycle of losing money, that can't find consistency, blowing up accounts. And it all comes back to lack of patience. They've been doing this for years. They want their results overnight. They won't say that, but that's your results, or your actions say otherwise. And they stay in this loop of destruction just because they cannot take it slow. They cannot trade small. And execute their plan consistently because it gets to their head. It gets to their head wanting those results right away. And that's the thing. So there's a few things you can do here. Now, I'm not just going to say something in this video that's just going to flip that switch in your brain. That's just going to make you trade like a fucking machine. It's a decision that you have to make. It's just like maybe that I can be the one that's going to light that fire to get you to make that decision. That's the point of this. I've given several psychology tips. So of course, everybody knows you need to trade small. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. You know you need to trade small. And if you're just now beginning trading and you are still, not even beginning trading, but still just like failing to find consistency, you need to start off risking 0.5%, no more than 0.5%. Or I mean, really, you need to start off paper trading. But then after you find consistency paper trading, this is assuming like you already have the data, like you've already done your data collection, whether it's back testing, whether it's forward testing. So you actually know that you have an edge in the marketplace. Because a lot of folks don't even have a fucking edge in the marketplace. Like they're trading a bunch of crap because truth is most stuff out there on the internet is crap. That's one of the biggest lies. Not to get too much on a tangent here. Because I'm going to bring it back together to this lesson. You know, a lot of folks are learning from marketers. They're learning from salesmen. They don't actually have a real edge in the marketplace. And then they don't go test their strategy. And then that's another big pitfall they have. And so like, because when you don't test your strategy, which is a lot of folks on here they don't. When you don't test your strategy, when you don't have the numbers, well, it becomes a lot more difficult to trust it. And when you don't trust it, it makes it very difficult to stay the course, to keep executing that strategy. It makes it so much more difficult on you when you don't know over a large series of trades in a ballpark where you're going to lead, because it is true that past results do not guarantee future results, but it gives you a ballpark of what to expect. And if you don't have that ballpark on what to expect, you're going to lack confidence and it's going to mess with your execution. So whether it's forward testing, whether it's back testing, you need to do data collection. Okay. And I actually have a video on back testing about how I go about doing it, kind of an old school way of back testing, but I'll leave a link to that in the video description. If you haven't seen my video on back testing, you can watch that video. But even if you don't have the platform that I talked about in that video, I mean, there's lots of back testing platforms, but you could just forward test, open up a Google Excel and forward test. But you need data. That's very important to psychology, folks. Okay. And if you lack an edge, because then the next question would be, okay, I get that I need to do data collection, but how do I find an edge? I'm going to extend my hand. All right. I'm not selling you nothing. Always got to say that. Because then, you know, as soon as like you bring up a strategy, folks get defensive. Like, oh, here goes the sales pitch. I'm not selling you nothing. I'll leave a link to my candle confirmation video in the video description. Now, I have different edges too, by the way, folks. It ain't just candle confirmation. Candle confirmation is my best, most powerful edge that I have in my arsenal currently, but it's not a holy grail. And I do have other stuff. So if you like market circle shift deals better, classic market circle, I have videos on that too that you can explore on my channel. But I'm going to leave a link to my candle confirmation videos in the video description. Okay. So if you don't have an edge, there you go. On a platter, I gave you one. Take it, go test it, get the data, get that confidence, and now you have direction. That's number one. Now, so far we've established you have an edge, do data collection, paper trade, and the paper trading is just so you can get familiar with seeing it. I get there's like not the emotional aspect, but you get familiar with seeing it and executing it, and there's a lot of value in that. And a lot of folks, again, are going to say no to paper trading, but it all comes back to the fundamental thing that we've been talking about. You lack patience. Try to twist it any way that you want. Oh, there's no emotions. It comes back into you want results right away. You want to get into the market right away, so you want to skip paper trading. You need to paper trade. Okay. Get the consistency there, and then you can venture into the market with small size, 0.5%. Okay. Now here's the thing. When you venture into the market and you're risking 0.5%, I'm not saying you can't build up and you can't risk more size later, but it's only after you build a cushion. And when I say like build a cushion, because your data is going to tell you what your max drawdown is, or at least you should be tracking that, what your max drawdown is. And then whatever your max drawdown is, you can build a cushion with 0.5%. That amounts for that max drawdown. So like whenever you bump up the 1% risk, because you can go from 0.5% to 1% risk. Whenever you go up to 1% risk, when you're risking 1%, the max drawdown, you should be able to survive that. So let's just say you go up to 1%, right? Let's just say you bump up from 0.5% to 1%, and then you're hit with like your max drawdown, your max losing streak. The worst case scenario is that you're going to lose that cushion of profit that you built, but you're not going to go into the red. And that's going to do a lot for your psychology. And people don't talk about this enough. It does a heck of a lot for your psychology because you built the cushion, okay? So like worst case scenario, you hit the absolute max drawdown. You should really build a little bit more than the max drawdown just to be safe. To build a little bit, just build a little bit more to be safe. And then you repeat that process when you go up to 2%. So you can build a cushion with 1% and then go up to 2%. And I don't even recommend going higher than 2% because there's just no need to. And then that's how you do it. That's how you scale up. And that's going to do a lot for your psychology as well. Because I make that point because a big issue that a lot of you face as well is because you're just trading too big. Again, you want results quick. You want results right away. So you're going in right away, and you're risking 2%, which is a death wish. Let me say that again. If you're going in right away, and you're risking 2% or more, it's a death wish. And a lot of traders are doing that. They're not doing data collection. They're not paper trading. They're going right in and they're risking 2% because they want results now. They want results now. And what happens is they get themselves in a hole. They blow up their account. And like I just said, that's a recipe for destruction. So what I'm telling you here is you got to take it slow. And I'm giving you a recipe to take it slow. Okay, if you do what I'm telling you here, you are going to progress so much faster. Your account is going to progress so much faster than if you were trying to go in right away with big size, like a lot of you are currently doing, trying to rush it. I'm telling you, I promise you that the way that I'm telling you right now, it's going to get you to where you want to go 10 times faster. I'm telling you, okay? Build a cushion and then slowly scale up. And what happens is also the more that because you got to think about this, folks. Like when you're first getting to the market and you're trading this, like it's understandable. You're going to have less confidence, even if you do all the back testing, even if you do years of back testing and you get into because it's a different beast when you get into the market real time. Back testing, aside from what some people tell you, it does not solve everything. There are plenty of folks that back test all day, and they still struggle. They still struggle because you know what they're missing? They're missing experience, and experience is king. So you need to experience it. So what this also does when you start off small and you build a cushion, you're building that experience along the way. Okay, so by the time you do build that cushion, you're up to like say 1% or 2%, you have a heck of a lot more experience to deal with. You have a heck of a lot more, you're going to be more confident because you have that. So you're going to be you're going to be able to handle that larger size better too once you get to that point. You see how that works? So you're just slowly building up. You're building up experience. You're building up capital, and it's going to compound. Not only your money is going to compound, but your confidence in your system, your confidence in yourself, it's going to compound. It all compounds. Okay? So, because you need to be able to experience drawdowns, losing streaks, winning streaks. You need to be able to experience it all, and you need to come out of it because that's the big thing here. A lot of traders will switch up their strategies after just like a couple losses. Sure, data collection plays a part in it, but also you need to build out of it. Because here's what's going to happen. Each and every single time that you build out of drawdown or losing streaks, and you don't up your size, you don't get emotional, become a degenerate, and just start doing a bunch of stupid crap outside of your plan, whenever you slow yourself down, you continue to trade small, you continue to stay consistent, you continue to execute your plan, and then when you inevitably build yourself out of that drawdown, that losing streak, you know what that's going to do for you, folks? I'm telling you, you know what that's going to do for you? It's going to give you so much more confidence in yourself and your system because you see it. There's a big difference between back testing it and then actually experience it in the market real time and saying, oh, hold up, I just built out of that drawdown. And you know what's going to do? You prove to yourself, oh, I can do it. And I'm telling you, the second that you do that once, the second time, it's going to get easier. And you're going to be able to do it again. You're going to be able to draw down again. You're going to be able to losing streak again. And then the third time, even easier. Fourth time, even easier. Fifth time. Because now at this point, I experience drawdowns and losing streaks still. And you see it, like I'm unfazed by it. I'm unfazed because I've been there a million fucking times. So it doesn't fucking faze me. Because I've already experienced the drawdown, the losing streaks. And when you overcome it, each time you do it, it gives you more confidence to do it again going forward. That's the importance of experience. And that's what a lot of you are lacking, is that experience. So when you have a few losses, you just unravel because you don't have that experience. And you just gotta, one by one, as I just said, piece by piece, take it piece by piece, build it and build it and build it. And you're gonna get more confident. It's innovative. It's gonna happen. It's just natural. It's how it works, folks. But so like a lot of you are just trying to skip all those steps. That's the thing where you're going wrong. If you're not consistent, you're trying to skip something that I've talked about in this video, whether it be like do the back testing, you're trading big right away, and you're just switching up strategies each and every single time you experience any type of loss. And if you do that, you're going to continue to stay in that loop of destruction for years to come. If you don't quit, you're just going to stay in that loop, because a lot of folks are going to quit because then they're going to get discouraged. But if you can just break that mode that you're currently in, and I'm telling you, step by step, you follow what I'm talking about in this video, you're going to be fine. You're going to do just fine. Get your edge, whether it's candle confirmation or whatever. Get the data, paper trade, get consistency, get into the market, small size, slowly build the cushion, scale up, scale up, scale up, build experience, build experience, build experience. Stay consistent. And I'm telling you, you are going to reach whatever goals that you want to achieve through trading 100 times faster than trying to rush it, going in big size and skipping those steps. Stop skipping the fucking steps. Okay? Take it slow, piece by piece, brick by brick, and you're going to get to where you want to get. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this video. Got immense value. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you later.